Hi everyone, how are you? I'm Abel and welcome back to my channel. You guys, over here where I live is starting to feel the hot weather. Well, actually it's burning hot. And with this weather, one of the things I enjoy the most is going to the beach. Inspired by this, for today's video I will show you how I made this beach landscape using watercolors. First I will show you the materials I used and then let's do it. I will use paper, watercolor, container with water, Scotch tape, a pencil, two brushes with different tips, and black permanent markers also with different tips. Remember that the complete list of materials is in the description box. I will start by setting the paper using Scotch tape. With a pencil I will create the sketch, which is actually pretty simple, and it's just a couple of lines to delimit the sky, the sea and the sand. Using clean water I will wet the upper part of the paper, which is going to be the sky. To start with the watercolor, I will begin by applying a light base of yellow and shading it to purple. In the next part, which is going to be the sea, I will use a blue color and the paper dry, unlike the first part. And I am doing this because I want the watercolor to have this effect very similar to lines. I will use the same technique with the sand, applying yellow watercolor and then shading it to the bottom of the paper. Once this part is completely dry, I will apply a second layer of color on the sea using a darker tone of blue, and I will create some stripes with the same color. I will create some deepness on the sand using a light brown. And now, using a brush with a thinner tip than the one I used before, I will paint the fence. And I will do this with a brown color with a little touch of red to make it look like wood. With a little bit of the same color but very diluted in water, I will create some stripes which are going to be some kind of marks of footsteps or something like that. With a darker brown, I will create some shades on the fence. Using a marker with a brush tip, and just take a look at this beautiful tip, I will draw some birds on the sky. And finally, with a marker with a 0.5 point, I will finish all the details on the fence. Guys, you know that I love beach landscapes, and actually I can recommend you to try this because this illustration is pretty simple to make. And I say this because whenever I get some new materials, for example watercolors, one of the things I like to try is to create a beach landscape, because I think that this kind of illustrations allows you to experiment with your materials and also with different techniques. For example, in this illustration in particular, you can try to use the paper wet, for example on the sky over here, and also dry, for example on the sea and on the sand. And this way you can see how your materials behave on different situations. And if you're not subscribed and you would like to be, hit the subscription button, or you can do that on the image that's over here, and turn on the notification bell so that YouTube will let you know when there's a new video around. Thank you so much for your likes, your comments and for sharing this content, and I recommend you to see these videos that you may like. Follow me on my social media that's on the screen and in the description box, and I'm off. See you next time. Bye bye!